Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jaya Mudiret Nasta Prayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttamasloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistaki Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangam Langhayate Girim Yatkripa Tamaham Vande Shri Guru Dinatarinam परमानन्दमाधवं चैतन्यमीश्वरम् ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनाशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणी जय श्री कृष्णा चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते जय पताका समिति नमाचार्य पदानिताय कृपपदायिनि गौरकथा धम्मताय नगर क्रमताय Hare Krishna devotees, thank you for joining Bhagavatam discussion, Bhagavatam study.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Now, those who can keep your camera on, please keep. Where we stopped yesterday?
Third shloka, you have to explain, Prabhuji. And Sridevi Mataji read it.
Right, no.
Yes, Prabhuji. Third. I'll continue, Prabhuji.
Still, we are reading purport only, no? Not completely.
We are reading purport only.
Okay, second paragraph or?
Yes, Prabhuji, second paragraph.
Okay, we can continue with this.
When the Lord descends personally by his personal planetary expansion, such incarnations are called Asma, Kala, Guna, Yuga, and Manvantara incarnations. And when the Lord's associates descend by the order of the Lord, such incarnations are called Saktya Vesha incarnations. But in all cases, all the incarnations are supported by the vulnerable statements of the authorized scriptures and not by any imagination of some self-interested propagandists. Such incarnations of the Lord in either of the above categories always declare the Supreme Personality of Godhead to be the ultimate truth. The impersonal conception of the Supreme Truth is just a process of a negation of the form of the Lord from the mundane conception of the Supreme Truth. The living entities, by their very constitution, are spiritually as good as the Lord, and the only difference between them is that the Lord is always supreme and pure, without contamination by the modes of material nature, whereas the living entities are apt to be contaminated by association with the material modes of goodness, passion, and ignorance. This contamination by the material modes can be washed off completely by knowledge, renunciation, and devotional service. Devotional service to the Lord is the ultimate issue. And therefore, those who are directly engaged in the devotional service of the Lord not only acquire the necessary knowledge in spiritual science, but also attain detachment from material connection and are thus promoted to the kingdom of God by complete liberation, as stated in the Bhagavad Gita 14.26. Mamcha yovya vyabicharena bhakti yogena sevate sagunan samitityaitan brahma bhuyaya kalpate. Even in the non-liberated stage, a living entity can be directly engaged in the transcendental loving service of the personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna, or his planetary expansions like Rama and Narsimha. Thus, with a proportionate improvement of such transcendental devotional service, the devotee makes definite progress towards Brahmagatim or Atmagatim and ultimately attains Kapilasya Gatim or the abode of the Lord without difficulty. The antiseptic potency of devotional service to the Lord is so great that it can neutralize the material infection even in the present life of a devotee. A devotee does not need to wait for his next birth for complete liberation.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Yeah.
In this sloka, Brahmaji is explaining about the Kapila Deva's incarnation. Here, just in the previous purport, Prabhupada was explaining how Lord's incarnations are not an ordinary, and ordinary people cannot understand Lord's incarnations. Prabhupada says it's impossible for the Lord to be known perfectly as He is. We discussed some part yesterday, because His pastimes are unlimited, His incarnation is unlimited, and His glories are unlimited. Our tiny brain cannot understand that. That's where Prabhupada is stressing out that he says less intelligent or unintelligent persons cannot understand. They make their own interpretation, or they make imagination. They will not be able to understand. Only possible is that one self-realized and surrender. Prabhupada gives example how Arjuna realized or self-realized. Means he completely surrendered to Krishna. Karpanya dosha upahata svabhava sishyasteham shadi ma prapanna. Arjuna says that Krishna, I have no idea. I don't know what is dharma. I am surrendering to you, Lotus feet. Please accept me as a disciple and instruct me. Then only he is able to understand. So here in the coming purport, Srila Prabhupada is explaining when the Lord descends, there are different purposes or different types. He talks about the Amsha or Kala, Guna, Yuga, Manvanta. These are the different types of avatars. Yatecha Kala Pumsa Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam, Sutta Goswami narrates that in Bhagavatam. Yatecha Kala Pumsa. But he explains all these expansions. And he says that all this, what I explained, they are only amsha. They are only the part. They are maybe having some guna. But Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. He says Krishna is the Supreme Lord. That's where he stresses that. Prabhupada says there are different types of avatars, or, talking about Guna avatar or Yuga avatar, Manvantar avatar, Purusha avatar. Guna avatar is Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesha. Purusha avatar, Mahavishnu, Garbhodaka Vishnu, Krirosa Vishnu. Then Leela avatar, like Matsya avatar, or Manvantar avatars, or Saktyavesh avatar. Here, Prabhupada talks of Saktyavesh avatar. Saktyavesh avatar means the personality who, got all the Sakti of the Lord. Saktya Avesha avatar. Like Buddha or Narada, they are Saktya Avesha avatars. Like that, there are different avatars are there. Even Prabhupada disciples said that Srila Prabhupada is a Saktyavesha avatar. Otherwise, impossible for do the task what he has done in that limited time. You know, like from 1966, 67 to 74, that 12, 13 years, the kind of, achievement he did. Impossible for any human being to do that. Writing so many books, like for example, Bhagavatam, or Chaitanya Charitamrita, Nectar Devotion, Nectar of Instructions, Krishna book, and so many other books, more than 85 books. For us to read Bhagavatam, which has got 18,000 slokas, it takes so many years just to read. For him to read, understand, write purport. And on the same time, he was establishing 108 temples and thousands of disciples, so many lectures, so many travels, and so many letters. All this were happening simultaneously. And so many issues, so many disputes, everything is happening in that 12 years time. So humanly not possible. That's why they say he's also Saktyavisha avatar. So here Prabhupada says, but in all cases, all incarnations are supported by the innumerable statement of authorized scriptures. So we don't get into the who is avatara or not avatara, we go with the scriptures. So that's why Prabhupada is saying mention the scripture is very important. We cannot blindly accept anyone as an avatar. Here Prabhupada says that living entities are apt to be contaminated by the association of the material modes of goodness, passion, and ignorance. So the living entity is apt means is vulnerable. Like for example, in Bhagavad Gita Krishna second, third chapter, 27th verse, he says, Prakrite kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvasha ahankara vimudatma karta iti manyate, he says. So Prakrite gunai karmani, all the activities happens in three modes, mode of goodness, passion, or ignorance, and under the Prakriti. And the Atma, the me, think that I am the doer. Prakriti kriyama gunai karmani sarvasha ahankara vimunat, I do out of ahankara. I think that I am the doer. That is the actual illusion. That is my problem. That's why Prabhupada says they are contaminated by the association. Actually, soul is pure. Like the general example given is that the rainwater coming from the sky is a pure. But as soon as it touches the ground, it gets contaminated. Similarly, the Atma is pure. But because of my association in this material world with these three modes, I get contaminated. So that is a point. So we should avoid such contaminations and purify ourselves so that we can go back home, back to Godhead. So Prabhupada also talks about different types of muktis. Like there are 6 type of mukti, 5 type of muktis. Talks about that Saivya mukti, like Salokya mukti. Salokya mukti means one who gets the same loka as Krishna. Because here the Prabhupada says that there are innumerable Vaikuntha planets, not one, innumerable. We say that we want to go back to Vaikuntha. Now, question may ask, which Vaikuntha? There are innumerable Vaikuntha planets, not one. Depends on Krishna's each avatar, each expansions, there is a one Vaikuntha planet. They live in Vaikuntha planet. Like, there are innumerable stars. All these devatas, and they have their vehicle. Some of the vehicles are the stars. They travel that star. And the one who aspires to get such a liberation, he gets a Saivya or Salokya. Salokya means same loka as Vishnu. And he gets a Samipya. Samipya means gets association of the devotees, association of the Supreme Lord. Samipya, I mean, they were close to. So he gets that mukti. Or he gets the Sarupya. In Vaikuntha, every jiva is the form of Vishnu only, 4 hand. Everybody gets a 4 hand. Then how do we identify Lord Vishnu and Jiva? That Kaustuba, which is there. That's a differentiation. Otherwise, in the form, everybody is in the Sarupya. And Shasti, Shasti is the opulence. They get the opulences as Lord Vishnu. Like, today some people are maybe very rich. They are not, kind of incarnation, but because of karma, they're getting it. But when they get this mukti, Shasti, they get all the opulences, all the kind of qualities as Krishna, Vishnu. Then Sahyajya. Sahyajya is merging with the Supreme Lord. So devotees aspire at least those four, but not uh, Sahyajya, because we don't want to merge with the Lord. That is what devotees generally don't aspire, because the devotees always aspire to serve Krishna. We don't want to merge with Krishna. We don't want to become one with Krishna. That is a difference between devotees, because devotees always aspire is to simply serve Krishna, not to make Krishna to serve us. That is the point here. So Prabhupada further explains here, quoting from Bhagavad Gita 14:26. Mamcha eva vicharena bhakti yogena sevate sa gunan samatyatidan brahma bhuya kalpate. The translation, one second, 14:26. Translation: one who engages in full devotional service, unfailing in all circumstances, at once transcends the modes of material nature and thus comes to the level of Brahman. So Krishna is saying the one who engages in full devotional service. Full means there is no, kind of material desires, or there is no stoppage. It should be uninterrupted and non-stop and without any motive. Anyabhilashita shunya jnana karmadi anavrutam anukulena anushilana. Anukulena anushilana bhakti ruchate. Chaitanya Charitamrita and Rupa Goswami says that. Anushilanam mattu anukulam should be as Krishna wanted and as pleasing to him. It should be that. So one is full devotional service, unfailing in all circumstances. That's the most important. Whatever circumstances, which circumstance can be very deteriorative or very detrimental, very negative, but still never give up devotional service. That is what required. Like we are example of Haridas Thakur, or so many examples can be given. Haridas Thakur was beaten 22 marketplaces, and each time he was chanting Hare Krishna. He never said that, no, no, please stop beating me, I'll not chant. No, he was chanting Hare Krishna. So that is the point. There are so many circumstances. Prahlad Maharaj, now Narasimha Jayanti is coming. Prahlad, whatever situation was put, his own father, demon Hiranyakashipu, tried to kill him in so many ways. We all know the story. Like put in a fire, thrown from the hill, he put in under the elephant, poison was put. All the circumstances, he was always chanting and remembering Krishna. And Krishna saved him. And further he says, at once transcends the modes of material nature, because here talking about the material nature, three modes. And one such devotees immediately transcends, means it goes beyond. That's why, we call it as a transcendental situation, means out of the three modes. Shuddha Bhakti, there's a pure Bhakti you should reach. That is what, where we are not in a Sattva-guna, even beyond that, because all these modes, Sattva-guna also in the material world. Generally, mode of ignorance or passion or mode of goodness. These are different levels, but mode of Sattva-guna or goodness also not enough. We have to cross that also. Generally, example given, all the three modes, whether whichever the mode we are in this material world only. We are in this jail only. Like we all know that The spiritual world is an actual place, and material world is a kind of a jail. Like in a Bangalore city, there's a nice city, and there is a prison house, Agrahar's, jail. The criminals are put in that jail. Similarly, we were in that spiritual world, different Vaikuntha planets. Due to our desire to enjoy in separation with Krishna, we have been sent here, this material world. But this material world is place for purification. Here, our job is to get purified. Like in a jail, the criminal gets punished so that he realizes what is mistake done and he will never do that mistake again, so that he can come out and live like a good citizen. Similarly, we have to try to get out of the jail and go back to that Goloka or that Vaikuntha, spiritual planet. So that's why Krishna is saying such Jiva comes back and achieves a Brahman. Here Prabhupada says, thus with the proportionate improvement of such transcendental devotional service, the devotee makes definite progress towards the Brahmagati. So see the words Prabhupada using. He says, with the proportionate improvement, the more I put effort, I get the more effort. Ye yatha prapadyante tam satatoya bhajam. How much effort I put in devotion service, that much benefit I get. Proportionate improvement of such transcendental devotional service. Transcendental devotional service, loving devotional service. A devotee makes a definite progress towards Brahmagati or Atmagati. Ultimately attains a Kapilasya Gati. Kapilasya means Kapiladev's Gati or Vaikuntha, or abode of Lord without difficulty. So that is a guarantee Prabhupada is giving. And says this very nice word is the antiseptic potency of the devotional service is to the Lord is so great that it can neutralize the material infection even present in the life of a devotee. The material infection, the disease. So what is the disease? Not the BP or cholesterol. They are not disease. My main disease is thinking that I am the doer. That is my ego or my sense gratification, my desired sense gratification. That is my disease. My thinking that I am the kind of enjoyer. That is disease. So for that, what is antiseptic is a devotional service to Lord. Like when you have normal disease, the kind of any bacteria or viral, doctor gives antiseptic or the medicine which can remove that kind of bacteria or virus. Similarly, my mind is contaminated with this virus, thinking that I'm the doer, I'm the enjoyer, I'm the controller. I want to lord it over the material nature. This is my disease. And I want to enjoy. The enjoying, Special Prabhupada says, kind of a skin disease. The enjoying mentality is like a skin disease. The more I itch, I want more. Like normally, those who got itching, the itching, if I itch, I scrub more, there's a probability of, itching coming more only. It may temporarily reduce it, but it will not go away permanently. So that's where that disease has to go. We need antiseptic. Applying ointment on the top of the skin, it may not cure the real problem. It may stop itching for some time, but it will come back. So if you take antiseptic or which cures the disease, that's where it will stop. Similarly, we have to take this antiseptic of devotional service, and that can neutralize the material infection even in the present of life of devotee. That's a important statement. Yes, normal people anyway, it got disease. The devotee who accepted Supreme Lord and who is practicing is also prone to this kind of disease. Should be very, very careful. Maya is so strong. Deviyesha gunamai mamamaya duratya, Krishna himself says that. So even the devotees, when he'll be trapped by Maya, I will never know. Maya is so clever and so intelligent. I may be thinking that everything going well. I'm doing so nice preaching. See, when I start saying that I am doing it, there itself my problem starts. I am preaching, I am doing it, it's because of me, I am doing this. That's itself my problem starts. That's where the Maya attends. So that is where I should be very, very careful. So a devotee does not need to wait for his next birth for a complete liberation. Prabhupada's concluding word. This is the kind of a concluding statement for all of us. We need not or should not wait for the next birth, because next birth I have no choice. Because Antakalecha Mameka Smaran Mukta Kalevaram, Krishna says that at the time of death, whatever remember, Yami Yami Vapas Smaran Mukta Kalevaram. At the time of whatever remember, I get. Now I have no guarantee what will I remember, what will happen. So better take full care for it. I remember about Krishna and go back home, because if I don't go back home, if I take birth in another species, 84 lakh species, I'll have to wait for another millions of years to come back here. Come back, because the human body only I can go back. Otherwise, even the heaven or any other higher planets, we cannot go back to Vaikuntha. I have to take human birth. So we got this very, very special Durlabha Manava Janma, the Acharya says that. So that human body we got, we should completely take advantage of this situation and dedicate our life as much as possible, so that we don't take risk of coming back again. That's why Prabhupada is very, very conclusively in this last statement says that a devotee does not need to wait for his next birth, complete the liberation. We should go back home, back to Godhead, this life itself, taking full advantage, chanting nicely, and doing sadhana, reading and distributing Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, and distributing prasadam, preaching. Somehow or other, we should go back home. Now, Narasimha Jayanti is coming. It's a good opportunity to request everybody to chant Narasimhas, because Narasimha can remove all the vigna, even in the bhakti. The Narasimha Dev can help us to remove all the vigna. So we are planning for Narasimha Yagya also. And maybe 1 week we want to do Narasimha Katha for 5 or 6 days. Evening instead of Bhagavatam, maybe 8:30 to 9:30. We do Narasimha Katha, different pastimes, and Prahlad Katha. So that we understand the potency of Lord Narasimha. And on 9th, we'll do Narasimha Yagya, because invocation of Narasimha Dev is so potent. All the vigna in my life can be removed by Lord Narasimha. Even any devotee, when he steps out, he Vigram Veera Maha Vishnu Jalantama Sarvatoma Narasimha Vishnu Badra Badramit. So that's chant by default, or Namaste Narasimhaya, because without Narasimha, our life is not fully protected. So that's a good opportunity. Let's take full advantage of that, and let's progress. Let's request Narasimha, please somehow make me to chant your name, chant Krishna's name, go back home, back to Godhead, this life itself. Hare Krishna. Stop here. Devotees can share. Who want to start? Maybe Sri Devi Mataji want to start.
Hare Krishna Mahaprabhuji. So all the incarnations are the statements of scriptures, and above all, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the ultimate truth. Living entities are contaminated by three modes of material nature: passion, goodness, and ignorance. But in the spiritual sky, they are not affected by these material modes. This contamination can be washed away by the devotional service, knowledge towards the scriptures, and renunciation. Devotional service is the ultimate. And one who engages in devotional service and automatically detach from material connection. And once they attain a detachment from material connection, they are promoted to the kingdom of God. by complete liberation. That's what is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 14.26. Here, Srila Prabhupada further states that a person in non-liberated stage also, if he engages in the transcendental loving service of the personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna, or his expansions, Rama or Narsimha, with a good improvement of devotional service and progress, attain Kapilasya Gatim, or the abode of Lord. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Tuti Mataji, same thing.
Nothing, Prabhu, just that in this Kali Yuga, the diseases are like ego, thinking that I am the enjoyer and all these stuff, and the sense gratification. These are the main diseases. And in order to overcome this disease, the best medicine is devotional service to God. That we should have that thing. And also, whatever situation comes up in life, we should never give up. Never give up on chanting Hare Krishna and devotional service. That's what I understood. Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Especially Prabhupada insists for devotees. And of course, I'm not saying about myself. Many time I think, or I may tend to think that, yeah, I'm doing so nicely. That is my fall down. I should be very, very careful because I'll be trapped so easily. So practice devotees also should be very careful about the Maya and should take up
It is
seriously.
Maya, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Maya.
Yeah. Okay. Sudhavadi Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Pranams.
Pronounced you.
Yes, rainwater is pure, but once it falls on the earth, it becomes impure. Like that, soul is pure, but once it is contaminated with material desires, then it becomes contaminated. The main thing is thinking that I'm the doer, I'm the one who is doing. That is the biggest problem in humans, because if we keep thinking that I'm doing this, I have this ability, that ability, then immediately ego comes in, and then all the problem starts. So that is the reason we have to, like, anyway, everything starting from digestion, everything is by God has created in such a way that only with his help we are able to survive on this earth, including taking food and digestion, all that process as well. So there is no point in saying that I am able to do it. So that simple thing. So how to is like leave with the ego and completely surrender to Krishna, and do his service, and keep listening, chanting. That's when we will be able to reach him. That's my understanding, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Mataji. Reena Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hmm.
So we understand Lord Sri Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself, and he comes in different avatars, like the Purusa Avatara, Guna Avatara, Leela Avatara, Yuga Avatara, Manvantara Avatara, and Satyavesa Avatara. And also, you mentioned about the muktis, different types of muktis. Salokya, where we live to live in the same spiritual world as the Lord. Samipya, to stay near the Lord. Swarupa, to get a form similar to the Lord's form. Sarsthit,
Srishti.
Srishti, to receive opulence or powers like the Lord. Sagunya,
Sahaja.
Sayuja,
Sahaja.
Sayuja, to merge into the Lord's effulgence. So these are the different types of mukti that you mentioned. And also, you spoke about how we can remove impurities from the mind, and that is possible by chanting or by praying Lord Sri Krishna. And mentioned about the Kapila's path, how she attained the liberation. So, and here the most important learning is the Lord Himself teaches how to get free from the material life by hearing and following the spiritual knowledge, one can become purified and liberated. That's the learning, Babuji. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna. Kanchana Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Today's lesson is we can liberate ourselves in our lifetime, they said, by engaging in devotional service. And that is the only way, like chanting, distribution of books, and charity. All these are devotional services. And with no conditions, if we practice this devotional service, then naturally we get detached from all this material contamination. We don't get involved in material activities, worldly activities much. We remain connected to God, and thus that way we can attain Atmagati, Kapilasya Gati, and surrender to his feet is the only way. And when we practice this, we can liberate ourselves in this lifetime only. That's what we understand. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Mariappan Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare
Dandavat
Krishna.
Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam.
Almost all points have been covered from Prabhuji. Shakti Avesha Avatar. The Shakti Avesha Avatar, Acharya Srila Prabhupada's example is given. Acharya has taken multifarious tasks during his lifetime, especially at the fag end of his life. He has written 85 books and translated so many books, all Vedic literatures into English, from Sanskrit to English, and traveled across the world for 14 times, and been an instrument in spreading Krishna consciousness across the world, which is humanly it is not possible. Living entities are vulnerable for three modes of nature. Thereby, soul is contaminated like rainwater when reaches the earth, and one who fully engage in devotional service without interruption, irrespective of circumstances, sustained devotional service. Bhakta Prahalata is given as a typical example, and one must cross over all the three modes of nature. This material world is meant for purification. Hence, I must sincerely practice devotional services and purify myself to go back to Godhead. I am the enjoyer. My ego, attachment with material desire, lording over the material world is all these attitudes are the disease, and the antiseptic potency of devotional service will cure all this disease. Maya is extraordinarily intelligent. A devotee must be very careful, should not be uh, uh, thinking himself that I am progressing well, because at any time one may happen to fall from his devotional practices. During this birth only, I must sincerely attempt and take complete advantage of human birth and try to go back to Godhead. Narsimha Chaturdashi is the best opportunity for perfect progress, overcoming obstacles in devotion. So I must take advantage of the Narsimha Chaturthi celebrations. That much I understood, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.
Asha Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Ordinary people cannot understand the Lord's incarnation, the Supreme's glories, pastimes, and they are unlimited. Only those who surrendered completely can understand, like Arjuna. Lord descends in different expansions. Krishna is the Supreme. Satyavisha Avatara, Narada is one among them, and as Maria Prabhuji said, Srila Prabhupada is also one believed, because he did a lot of impossible things which a human can do in a very short span of time. And this is all we understand all this by scriptures. The illusion is one of the thing. The illusion makes me think that I am the doer. Then uh, Sayujya is merging with Krishna. Devotees even do not aspire for this, because they always want to serve Krishna rather than merge with him. One who engages in full devotional service, uh, I have to, because it has to be unfailing in all circumstances, not to give up devotional service. Best examples are like Haridas Thakur and Prahalad Maharaj. Even when they are put into difficult, they have never given up this devotional service that is pure. Sattva is also material. Then how much effort I put in devotional service, I get that much. A material infection is very dangerous, and I always feel I am the enjoyer, and the antiseptic for this is the devotional service. Um, um, we should be very careful about Maya, even as a devotees, even devotees. It is very difficult, because sometimes Maya takes over. We should not look for next birth to complete the liberation. Take full advantage of the devotional service, and serve the Supreme, so that we can go back home to Godhead. That's my takeaway,
Krishna.
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Thank you for
ಲತಾ
the class.
ಮಾತಾಜಿ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಹೇಳಿಕ್ಕಿತ್ತಾ?
ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ತುಂಬಾ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿತ್ತು ಪ್ರಭು. ಆದ್ರೆ ನನಗೆ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗದೆ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಬರೀ ಪದಗಳು ಯಾವ ತರ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಪ್ರಹ್ಲಾದ ಹೇಗೆ ಭಕ್ತಿಯನ್ನೇ ನಂಬ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರು, ಮತ್ತೆ ಇವರು ಯಾವ ತರ ಅವ್ರ ಭಕ್ತಿ ಸೇವೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಮುಳುಗಿ ಎಲ್ಲದಕ್ಕೂ ಕೃಷ್ಣ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ ಅನ್ನೋ ಧೈರ್ಯವಾಗಿ ಪ್ರಹ್ಲಾದ ಇದ್ರು ಅನ್ನೋದು ತುಂಬಾ ಖುಷಿ ಆಯ್ತು ಪ್ರಭು. ಮತ್ತೆ ಈ ಮಳೆ ನೀರು ಆಕಾಶದಿಂದ ಬೀಳುವಾಗ ಎಷ್ಟು ಶುದ್ಧವಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಆದ್ರೆ ಭೂಮಿ ಮೇಲೆ ಬಂದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಯಾವ ತರ ಕಲುಷಿತ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅದೇ ತರ ನಾವು ಆತ್ಮಗಳು ಭೂಮಿಗೆ ಬಂದಾಗ ಶುದ್ಧವಾಗಿರ್ತೀವಿ, ಅಥವಾ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಭೂಮಿಗೆ ಬಂದ್ಮೇಲೆ ನಾವು ಇಲ್ಲಿನ ಆ ಐಹಿಕ ಸುಖ, ಸಂತೋಷ, ಮಾಯೆಗೆ ಒಳಗಾಗಿ ಯಾವ ತರ ಇದ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತು ಪ್ರಭು. ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಇವಾಗ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋ ಅಭ್ಯಾಸ ಮಾಡಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ ಪ್ರಭು. ಕನ್ನಡ
ಕನ್ನಡ ತುಂಬಾ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ ಮಾತಾಜಿ, ಅದ್ ಕೇಳುವಾಗ ನಮಗೆ ಖುಷಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ.
ಕನ್ನಡ ಒಂದೇ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಭಾಷೆ ಬರಲ್ಲ. ಹಿಂದಿ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ತಮಿಳು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಎಲ್ಲ ಭಾಷೆಲೂ ಯಾವ ಭಾಷೆಲಾದ್ರೂ ಬರ್ಲಿ, ಒಟ್ಟಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು ಅಭ್ಯಾಸ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ, ಜಪ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಕೃಷ್ಣ ಕಾಪಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ನಮ್ಮ ಮನೆಯವರಿಗೆ ಓಪನ್ ಹಾರ್ಟ್ ಸರ್ಜರಿ ಆಯ್ತು ಪ್ರಭು. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಸ್ಪಿಟಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ನನಗೆ ಒಬ್ರು ಇವ್ರು ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದ್ರು, ತುಂಬಾ ನನಗೆ ಸಹಾಯ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. ಭಗವತಿ ಮಾತಾಜಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಕೇರಳದವರು. ಐಕಿಯಾ ಹಾಸ್ಪಿಟಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದೆ ನಾನು, ಇದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ನಾಗಮಂಗ್ಲ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಮನೆಯವ್ರನ್ನ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡು. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋದಾಗ ನನಗೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಭಯ, ಅಳು ಎಲ್ಲ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು. ಆ ಭಗವತಿ ಮಾತಾಜಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಅವರು ನನ್ನನ್ನ ಕಂಠಿ ಮಾಲ ಹಾಕೊಂಡಿರೋದು ಮತ್ತೆ ತಿಲಕ ಹಚ್ಕೊಂಡಿರೋದೆಲ್ಲ ನೋಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು, ನೀವು ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ ಇಸ್ಕಾನ್ ಟೆಂಪಲ್ಗೆ, ಜಪ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ, ಎಷ್ಟು ರೌಂಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ ಅಂತೆಲ್ಲ ವಿಚಾರಿಸಿ, ಕೃಷ್ಣನೇ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ರೂಪದಲ್ಲಿ, ನೀವು ಯಾಕೆ ಭಯ ಪಟ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀರಾ, ಮನೇಲಿದ್ರೆ ಭಯ ಪಟ್ಕೋಬೇಕು, ನೀವು ಬಂದಿದ್ದೀರಲ್ಲ, ಕೃಷ್ಣ ನಿಮ್ಮನ್ನ ಕಾಪಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ ಅಂದಮೇಲೆ ನೀವು ಯಾಕೆ ಅಷ್ಟು ಧೈರ್ಯವಾಗಿ ಇರಬೇಕು, ಅಳ್ಬಾರ್ದು ಅಂಥೇಳಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ನನಗೆ ಸಹಾಯ ಮಾಡಿದಾರಂದ್ರೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಖುಷಿ ಆಯ್ತು ಪ್ರಭು. ಭಗವಂತನೇ ನನ್ನನ್ನ ಆಶೀರ್ವಾದ ಮಾಡಿ ಧೈರ್ಯ ಮಾಡಿ ಕಳಿಸಿದ್ನೇನೋ ಅನ್ನೋಷ್ಟು ಖುಷಿ ಆಯ್ತು ಪ್ರಭು. ಎಲ್ಲ ಭಾಷೆಗಳಲ್ಲೂ ಸುಮ್ನೆ ನಂಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗುತ್ತೋ ಬಿಡುತ್ತೋ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಅಂತೂ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ ಪ್ರಭು.
ಪ್ರಭು ಹೇಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಈಗ?
ಇವಾಗ ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ ಪ್ರಭು, 1.5 ತಿಂಗಳಾಯ್ತು ಇವಾಗ.
ಡಿಸ್ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಆಗಿ ಮನೆಗೆ ಬಂದಲ್ಲ?
ಮನೆಗೆ ಬಂದಿದೀವಿ. ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಕಾಲಿಂದ ಮತ್ತೆ ಎದೆ ಹತ್ರ ಎಲ್ಲ ಒಣಗೋಗಿದೆ. ಟ್ಯಾಬ್ಲೆಟ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ತಗೋಬೇಕು, 15 ದಿನಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದ್ಸರಿ ತೋರಿಸ್ಬೇಕು, ಮತ್ತೆ ಇನ್ಸುಲಿನ್ ಹಾಕಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಪ್ರಭು ಇವಾಗ. ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ
ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದೆಯಾ?
ಇಲ್ಲ ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಇದೆ, ಶುಗರು BP ಎಲ್ಲ ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಇದೆ ಪ್ರಭು. ಎಲ್ಲ ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು.
once Hare Krishna mantra for Prabhu's, spiritual as well as health conditions. Let's all chant together.
ಸರಿ
Hare
ಪ್ರಭು.
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Hare.
Diya Mataji, you want to say anything? I'm keeping you last because you are the junior. Please share something. Hare Krishna.
We humans should not fall into material world, focus on serving Lord Krishna.
Voice is not clear.
Dia, you go to your mother's room.
Yes.
In their house, Prabhuji, some places signal is not there.
Mataji knows the full house structure also, where signal comes and where signal
Whenever I
doesn't.
talk to Sudha, sometimes signal is not there. So she goes to particular place, there only signal comes.
Okay.
So
Hare
the
Krishna
signal to
Prabhu.
Goloka also will get some place only. You have to go to certain place.
Hare
Yes,
Krishna
sir.
Prabhuji.
Yes, Vidya Mataji.
We humans should not fall into the material world and should focus on serving Lord Krishna to reach his abode. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you so
Very
much.
good.
Thank you so much. I wanted to kind of request for help or we are trying to preach whatever possible. Now, physical preaching is happening. We're trying book distribution here, but there is online preaching also required because devotees or people are in online. What to do? So we need help who can help us in social media, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, various help. Either simple help is that whatever video comes, like for example, this Bhagavatam link, send it to 100 people. The more viral happens, the probability of that video becomes reachable is more. Not only that, whole kind of, I don't know, maybe younger generation, Dia will be knowing more. I don't know much, but I was told that we should reach out more people. Then whenever promote any of programs, reachable, like last time we promoted summer camp, we spent a lot, but did not reach. Then expert says, because your channel has no kind of a subscription, no followers. That's the reason it's not. So please subscribe, please follow, please send it to 100 people, let it reach. And maybe any one of you or all of you can make some videos, small 30-second, 60-second videos. Please send it to Umashankar Prabhu. He can post in a group. Let it become viral. Let it go as many people as possible. Each one of us can do. We can. Each one of us can preach. There's no restriction that only one person should speak. Everybody can speak. I mean, that's my request. Or anybody can help also, whether editing video or creating video, posting it, or any social media. Please help us. Umashankar Prabhu is struggling, alone. And because Neeraja Mata used to do, now she also little difficulties. We need people who can help. Whatever part, nothing is there. At least when video comes, send it to 100 people. That's at least we can do. Anything else also, please help. Whatever you can do, please let us know. We'll be more grateful. Anybody knows any social media techniques, please tell us. Or you can ask any of your friends also, if somebody can help. That also possible. And you can also do some videos and send it. From Tulu, some devotees are Shailaja Mataji sending now. Like I'm requesting everybody, please let's do as much as possible. Now Narasimha Jayanti is coming. On Narasimha, each one can do that. I mean, don't make bigger because people have no time now. People are so, short 30-second, 60-second videos, each pastime of the Lord, make it and give it, let it go. If somebody can do, please help us. Okay. Vanchakalpatarabhyasya kripa sindhubhyavasya paritana apavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namah anantakoti vaishnavrinda ki jai. Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. See you on Monday.
Prabhuji, class.
Anybody
Please,
on social media, if you want help, please reach out to me